Good afternoon, I'm Jeff. I'm a sewer tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 8015 North Seward here in Portland, Oregon. We're located at the front of the, it's Seward Avenue. We're located at the front of the home where we have a 4-inch cast iron cleanout. The cap is seized on, but I was able to dig down to it and separate the top part of the pipe here from the rest of the standpipe. So you just essentially have to pull that out of the way here to access the line. I'm going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. We currently have water running, and I will zero out the camera length counter here at the base of the cleanout and refer to this spot right here as the point of access. Here we go. It looks like it transitions immediately upon access here from 4-inch cast iron pipe over to, this looks like 6-inch concrete. It's definitely concrete, just the diameter change is kind of tough, but it does look like 6-inch. And that concrete was looking kind of rough there. We'll check it out once it's all drained out at the end. And I'm looking at the top of the pipe here. You can see some lines that are kind of crisscrossing across the top of the pipe there. That may be roots. Kind of looks like them. We'll have a better picture at the end when we get it all drained out, though. Alright, here at 29 feet, the line transitions from 6-inch concrete pipe to 6-inch PVC pipe. Okay, here at 81 feet out, we have reached the main lateral out on Seward. I will do locates to verify that it's out on Seward, of course. And then I'm going to let the line drain out here completely before pulling back. The majority of the concrete pipe was looking in good shape, but the beginning of it is looking pretty darn rough, so I want to take a close look at that on the way back out. It did appear that there was some minor root intrusion growing across the top of the pipe. But yeah, we'll check that out here in just a minute. Okay, I did locate the camera head successfully, and we are, in fact, out on North Seward, out in the middle of the street here, so we are at the main lateral. I'm going to go ahead and start reeling the camera back here. Most of the water is now drained out of the line, and I want to take a close look at the pipe at the beginning of the line, as that was in concerning condition. Now this last bit here is actually looking more like terracotta clay than concrete. I'll find the transition. I think it switches over to clay pipe right after the PVC. The toilet flapper was stuck open, so it wasn't. That's why we still have water flowing on camera here. Should stop now. And it's right here where we have a transition from PVC to terracotta at 35 feet. Okay, we're back in the this first part of the line here that's concrete. You can see how there's the aggregate rock is showing through. That means the wall is thinning out. And I'm looking at the left side of the screen here. I don't know if that is a root ball that's punching through the side of the wall here, or if it somehow fell into the pipe at some point or broke loose from somewhere else, but that is roots there. It's quite small, but roots nonetheless. I will do a toilet flush real quick to see if that moves. Okay, there's the toilet flush there. Okay, let this drain out for a second, see what's left behind here. Whatever that was, it did not appear to be coming through the sidewall there. Looks like it originated from somewhere else in the line. I'm looking at the left side of the screen here in this joint. I'm seeing some small black lines kind of going away from that joint there. It almost looks like there's some really tiny roots that have grown up from there, or it's possibly a crack in the pipe. But you can see that black line there that's kind of squiggly. It starts on the left side of the screen right at the joint about halfway up, and then kind of goes up towards the top of the pipe. But it's very, very difficult to discern what that is. It could be nothing, but that looks like a crack or a very small root. And then there's something poking right out of the joint there. You can see that little white thing that looks like a root that's popped through. Obviously very tiny, it's not affecting the flow. And my camera has a really bad angle right here as it rounds this corner. I don't see anything going on with that joint, but it's kind of shadowed there on the right side. Now, there's a very large separation here in the pipe. You can see the left side of the screen. It looks like there's a hole there as well. It's opened up to the ground, so that would be allowing water to seep out into the ground there. And you can see in that little bit of water that there are some tiny roots growing right there as well. And you can see all the aggregate rock that's showing through. The pipe is, over time, the mortar wears out between the rocks and the aggregate rock mix, or concrete mix. And what that means is that concrete does have a lifespan. It slowly wears out over time. And what I'm looking at here is the top. You can see all those black squiggly lines that are kind of crisscrossing. Those look like some real small roots that have come through the joint and are kind of growing across the top of the pipe. They're tough to discern, but there's nothing else that really explains why you have all those little lines there. They're just hugging the top of the pipe, it looks like. But the good news is here, despite the rough condition that the concrete pipe is in, the line is still functioning right now, but the concrete is nearing the end of its lifespan, and in my opinion, there's a point at which you should update a sewer line. Currently, if you were to move into this house, you're not going to have a blockage or backup or anything of that sort here at all. But over time, this concrete will wear out and continue to degrade. So I would recommend the line be updated here, this concrete portion, sometime in the near future, so that you can avoid any issues occurring down the road due to the pipe's age and condition deteriorating. And right here, you can see it looks like a piece of cast iron pipe. That is not a flush or nice circle here, the end of this piece of pipe. I don't know if that broke at some point, but off to the left here, sorry, I'm trying to move whatever this is out of the way, a little piece of plastic. It does look like there's a hole right here, or a really open joint. It's tough to see, but if you look off to the left there, it kind of looks like it's going back into a void. And so for that reason, I'm going to map the line out here with white paint. I'll start the clean out and work my way out to the end of the this first bit of concrete, which ends at 29 feet. And I recommend the pipe be sleeved. You would have no reason to dig this up, as there's very nice slope and grade. There's no belly, but sleeving it will make the line updated and pretty much impervious to any root intrusion down the road. And once it's sleeved, it will hold up for presumably something like 100 or more years. But currently, the line is functioning properly at this time. It's the longevity that I'm concerned about. Okay, I marked right here. We're just about a foot in front of the clean out in the front yard area, marked with a green T, and we're at 3 feet deep here. And that's in the event that doing excavation is cheaper than doing a pipe sleeve. Generally, though, when you've got to dig stuff up here, it saves about 30% to sleeve. And I'll do markings here about every 10 feet or so, just to give an idea of where the pipe runs. It's still in the front yard area here, 3 feet 5 inches deep. We're going to move out to 20 feet here and do another marking. You can see how worn out this concrete right here is. This is actually the start of a hole. All right, we are out in the bark dust curb strip at 4 feet 3 inches deep here. Okay, the hole repair is now mapped out from the clean out to 29 feet, and the last marking is right before the street curb at a steel clean out plate at about 5 feet.